Hello and welcome back to my Factorio beltless bot maze. We are in a maze of dark tunnels all alike, and I'm trying to scale, and it's not going particularly well. The bottleneck at the moment is fabricating modules. The modules are needed for making all the beaconed machines and for making the prod mods and all that stuff. Those are bottlenecked on circuits, green, red and blue chips. And I've had a bit of a look around the map to try and figure out why that's a problem. And it turns out it all comes back to oil. Fundamentally, at the moment we are not getting enough petroleum made. And that's sad. It means that our petroleum dependent circuits are not being manufactured fast enough. So what I'd like to do is have a look at if we can improve this situation. Now, in between episodes, I ran the upgrade planner over all of this. We are starting to upgrade to pump jack level 3s. This is a pump jack 2. We may even have a couple of pump jack 1s or pump jack vanilla in here. So I'm upgrading the pump jacks. That is helping. Because we are doing so much production of red circuits at the home base, we're making a lot of plastic, which means we're pulling in a lot of crude, which means these keep getting emptied. Whenever these empty, all the refineries stop. So I've been trying to counter that by upping our production, but as you can see, a lot of the pump jacks are not pumping. We're just not getting the throughput. So what can we do? Well, I thought we could have a go at using some better kit and just see what we need to do to upgrade this, to improve it. That's 4 of those. That's a full set of prod mods on each. Okay, so let's check. This would produce 300, 540, 660. 3,000, 6,000, 7,000. So this is worth more than 10 of these, quite significantly more than 10. So we have now increased our output. This is now backed up. Okay, so we're going to just go around playing whack-a-mole. This is backed up on light oil, light oil. Okay. So the fix here would normally be improve the light oil cracking. So we'll give that a go. And again, we're going to do the minimum we can. Because for other reasons, this isn't actually a build I want to take forward in future. So again, one of these does 600 output. Takes in 900, puts out 600. One of these takes in nearly 6,000, puts out 5,000. So at least 10 times as good. This is now backed up. This is full. So hopefully we would now have a petroleum train on the way in. Okay, so there is a petroleum train on the way in. What I want to see is when this petroleum train has loaded, how long it takes for these tanks to fill back up. And then we're just going to go around adding in extra beaconed machines until the whole thing is balanced out. Okay. Now we almost certainly need beaconed here. Okay, so this fills up and the petroleum gas goes down. Rising quite well. Now we do have an issue that there's a bit of a travel time between this filling and the next train coming in. So it may make sense to park the empty petroleum trains closer to here. In practice, I don't actually know if this is going to be sufficient petroleum for our late stage base. But right now I don't care. The important thing is that we need to try and keep the petroleum dependent productions downstream going. So let's see. This is not quite there. Okay, where is this held up? Okay. Ah, so this is annoying. These are backed up on heavy oil. Good. So we know how to fix that. That's a thing we can fix. That way around. Good. That's full. And that is calling in a train. So I think we've increased our work rate quite substantially here. Good, here's the train. It should fill up nice and quickly. Ah, that is a petroleum train. Okay, so this is something I do want to see. How quickly these tanks fill back up. So they're filling up at a good speed. And this is really the limiting factor at the moment. Good, so they're full. Once we're beaconing things, we can probably trim this whole build back quite substantially. It may even all fit within the top square. So we'll have a look at restructuring it later. Right now, that's not the priority. Okay. So these are full already, and a train should be on the way in. Yep, here we are. So where do we have trains currently? There is one stacked in full. There's one leaving here, having been filled. Then one has just gone to red circuits. Okay, so we'll have a quick look at these to see where they end up. This is the stage where it's a lot of waiting for things to happen. So this is filling up at a good speed now. Okay, I wonder where the bottlenecks are. So this is running full speed. This is browning out slightly. And if we look at the... Okay, so we have not enough light oil cracking. So we can throw down a second... Good, so that should fix that bottleneck. And I'm using a lot of modules and so forth, but petroleum is our bottleneck, so I really need to address this. Okay, and we're ready to call in a train any moment now. Okay. And a train is on its way. And then we have a train parked in full and a second one parked. So we actually have full petroleum trains. That is a result. All right, so the next thing I'd like to have a look at is red circuit build is probably not okay, is it? Let's have a look at that on the map. All right, so I'm just having a look at these to see if any are nearly full. The answer is, oh, this one's nearly full, top one. Okay, so what I'd ideally like to do is upgrade these builds These are assembly machine 1s. And I kind of want to make the whole thing tier 3. Which obviously will put higher pressure on our petroleum, but that's by the by. For that I would need a build. And at the moment this uses 8 smelters and 16 assemblers. Okay. Thing is, I only have 3 smelters in my pocket. I have 12 assemblers. We might drop down to a single green circuit machine, I'm not sure. Maybe still can power 2. So I probably need 16 of these. Okay. And the furnaces, I think 12 is sufficient. Okay, and then I think we're done with this for now. So let's put this down to 4, so I don't request any more in. And we don't need any more of these. Let's set that down to 8. So that's less than I have, but it's sufficient to upgrade things. Right, so let's head back to Gallifrey and have a poke about and see if we can figure out what we can do next to improve things. If all of our red circuit builds are going, I'll do an intermediate upgrade on the red circuit builds, just to push them forwards a bit. Okay. So this, if it was running full speed, which it clearly is not, would be producing 324 a minute. And this one would be producing 100. I'd like to do better than that, really. Okay. So we'll go over there and we'll see if we can improve the build manually and see how bad the ratios look. Then after we've upgraded red circuits, we'll have a look at blue circuits, because I'm not sure now if it makes more sense to build those with on-site green... Well, on-site green chip production doesn't make sense, we established that, but I don't know if it makes sense to do on-site red chip production or not. Okay, so I would like some smelters. I have all of the assembling machines, so it's the smelters that are the problem. And I think we can guess what the problem is. They're just not being made because they don't get the chips, but let's check. Where are assemblers being... Let's see assembly machines. I'm being blind. Or maybe they're not being made. Maybe I cut and changed all the builds around and lost it. That's possible. Right, this is assembly machines. Where is the smelter build? Here. Alright. So this is just waiting on the tier 3 speed modules. And we're in this chicken and egg where the tier 3 speed modules are capped on green circuits. The reason they're capped on green circuits is because so many of them are going into making the reds and the blues. Okay, let's go partially upgrade one of those builds. And what's the easiest way to get there? Probably by parking up at the top. Out the way. In the meantime, I've been upgrading things. So we are in the process of upgrading to blue capacitors to match our blue solar panels. The blue solar panels are now outproducing the greens, which is good. We're making it through nighttime, but we need to constantly be vigilant to add in more and more capacity, because no doubt at some point our mass beaconing of production will cause trouble. Okay. So let's start off by seeing what we can do. This is probably a ridiculous idea, but there we are. So that's all beaconed up. And if this was running fully, it would produce nearly 900, so nearly 3 times what the other build was producing, and nearly 9 times what this build was originally producing. This is, of course, starved because they need the better furnaces. Okay. So, at the very least, perhaps I can go and put in tier 2 furnaces here. That might be enough to at least get things moving. So I can set my request here for furnaces to 16. Okay, 8 is probably enough, but yeah, we'll set it to 8. Alright. It's just going to be slowly tweaking things as and when I have the resources, I think. Even if I had one more tier 3 furnace, I might be able to spend that on the copper, which might be enough. Might be enough. Then the next thing I would like to do is push here. There are 2 possibilities. So there's all this area here which we've cleared out with our artillery, and our pollution cloud is now around here. So I think if we continue to push, we might be able to move more things out of our pollution cloud. Okay, let's see. So I've got my 8 furnace 2s. What I want is my 4th furnace. Okay. Perhaps there's a way to finagle this. I just need 1 furnace. And this has 3 modules and it needs 12. So if I can steal 9 from somewhere else, we're good. That's 4. Nope. Okay, and it's speed 3s I needed, not speed 2s. Okay, let's try again. 8 is good. So I just need 1 more. That could even get made. Yep. Oh, we got picked up before I could get there. Has it been dropped off here? Doesn't seem like it. Alright, let's go find somewhere else. Alright. That'll do. So that's my 4th furnace. So we can now go off and see if we can make that red circuit build go faster. It's a bit of a botch job, but you know, it's better than no job at all, isn't it? And how are we doing with upgrading our solar? Alright. So I asked this to upgrade. That looks done, doesn't it? Okay, so let's carry on with this. I'm only upgrading the greens. I'm actually thinking of starting to prune back the other solar a bit, because every green panel produces 10 times the power of a standard panel. Every blue one is 10 times the green. Alright, so I've just done up to there. We potentially end up in a situation where all of this solar can be done in just a couple of patches. So at some point I might start pruning back solar from other places. Okay, so this is very bottlenecked. However, we have furnace 2s, so let's run those all the way along. Good. Then we can run our shiny prop mods. Then let's upgrade all the inserters. Right, is there a reason it won't let me do that? Blue inserters offend me. They shall be gone. Okay. So this will all get done. I don't think I even carry inserters anymore. Oh no, I do. They must be being flown in. Okay, so what's it? Is this waiting on? It's waiting on green circuits. Green circuits are waiting on coils. Okay, so time to upgrade the copper machines specifically to tier 3. Okay, that looks a lot greener. That may actually be a workable build. Slightly under green circuits. We're still under copper. Okay. So in a perfect world, I would have one more copper smelter on here. These two are running not horrendously. They're running at least some of the time, so I'm not getting my nearly 9,000 circuits out of this. I'm certainly getting more than my 100. Cool. Right. What are the other things we can do at this point then? Now, obviously what we could do is ship in a train of green circuits. But I don't think that's practical, to be honest. I think this build here is what we're going to go with for now. So, do we produce enough plastic? No. Well, we know how to fix that, don't we? 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. So that solved the plastic problem. This looks even greener. So let's call that a day for red circuits for now. If this was running semi-consistently, we'd be getting nearly 900 red circuits a minute. So this would fill up every 10 to 12 minutes. Now, one train of red circuits every 12 minutes is not super awesome. It's a lot of circuits, but you know, it's just that it comes in train loads. So I think we should look at upgrading this. Okay. I only have one of the chemical plants. Well, that's not going to hurt. And we'll go through and put in... I don't even have the furnaces. Okay. So we'll have to come back and fix this build. Now, does this mean we have... No, it doesn't. The... Oh! That unloaded red circuits down at Gallifrey. That's amazing. Okay. That's our first load of red circuits down here. And we had a filtering problem. So we need to set up filters here for everything. That's the next job then. So then we need to make sure the red circuit's being moved into the main build. 20 things being damaged. Wow. We're going to have to push. The slight wrinkle with pushing is because so much of our plastic is going into producing red circuits, we're not producing very many shells. So we'll have to revisit that as and when we can. Good, out we pop. So, two jobs. We need to fix the inserters down here. Good. So all of this needs to be stack inserters. Set two of them to red circuits for now. We can always change that in the future. Then set the rest to iron ore. There we are. Right, then we currently have nothing moving circuits over. These three are steel. I think we could... I think we can steal one of the coppers. Alright, so let's Oh, we've got red circuits moving. Okay. So they're just being moved as fast as they are needed. Brilliant. So that should have reduced our need to make red circuits locally. I'm going to take away some of these builds. It's probably stupid too, but we're going to do it anyway. Okay. Because I've been noticing these builds aren't running fully anyway. Alright, off they go. So I needed beacon chemical plants, which we have. Furnaces 2, that's good. I need 4 furnace 3s. And this is all running quite badly, truth be told. A lot of the green circuits are going into making blues, and I'd really rather be doing that off-site. So that requires a new blue build. Alright, so let's take these down to 0, because I never want to use tier 3 assemblers ever again. I'm just thinking about what the next thing to do is. Alright, so let's have a look up here. So this is not horrendous. This is not good. However, it is producing. So we're up to 2.4k, 1k. Yeah. I just need to go through and upgrade all of these, really, to have a chance of bringing in enough red circuits. Okay, next thing. So let's head up to here. Okay, so we've cleared out a lot of the riffraff. And I think it's time to start claiming more territory. I'm particularly keen this area around here, partly because we've got some nice copper, but I'd really like to get down to the water here. All right. Move forward a bit. All right. And I think I have a combat suit. Yeah, I do. Okay, so I actually don't know how effective this combat suit is. So let's take a save because I am a wimp. However, if we can clear some of this, I will secure it with a laser wall, and I will put down more artillery. So these look unhappy. Okay. So this is not good enough. I've got plenty of lasers. I've only got one shield. I'm not moving fast enough, but there's just not very much room in these suits, is there? They're certainly not the God mode suits that you get in some mods. Okay. Right. So the first thing is I just want to secure a new forward operating base. All right. Let's grab that, center it. Redundancy is really important. We need a radar. Good. And we actually need, ideally, one of these. There. And I'm not going to do anything here correctly at this point. It's just to get things hooked up and working. There we go. We can come out here later with rail and civilization. Good. And it just comes down to raw firepower in these situations. How many lasers can you bring to bear? It has 2 effects. It has a work rate effect, damage per second. Okay. And then it has a secondary effect of splitting their efforts among multiple targets. Good, so that's all done. I can start pulling this back up. Because I don't really care about this corner, although corners are quite useful for building in. I care about getting around this edge. And then, ooh, very nice. So we have booms going off. And I have 2 choices here. I can start liberating this, or I can put down another boom and extend it with the booms. And I think what I'm going to do is go the boom route. So, take the whole of that. Good, that's a boom wall. That's down. Let's get a radar. And then it's a question of putting in roboports to hook the whole thing back up. And how many of those am I carrying? Only 6. Okay. Maybe a bit stretched on 6 roboports. We can worry about full infrastructure later. This is the 6th one. There we go. It's not enough to join everything up. But frankly, it doesn't really need to be. Okay, so how well is that done? Pretty good. So that's pulled it up to there. And this will happen in its own good time. So it's just going to be something I think I do off camera to walk around, put down artillery, pull up the artillery that's in the layer behind, and just walk the edges of the territory forward. You can see our pollution. I'm assuming the pollution is being consumed by that first line of bases because it's just spreading. And to be honest, if we had a, if there was a mod I had installed that ate pollution, I would install that mod. Some sort of air scrubbers or arboretums or something would be ideal, wouldn't it? Okay, so I'll just leave that to do its thing. Back to Gallifrey. I would like to see if we've got the smelters and so forth built, because instead of having a red circuit train every 12 minutes, one every 6 minutes sounds pretty good. Right, so if I can get rid of this nest, which is going to be really tough to get rid of manually, then I can push this out to say there, and we can start to grab this area here. I'm assuming this loops round on there. Alright, so back here. Do we still have red circuits? Yes, we do. We still have red circuits. So, do I even need to make them locally? Well, these are running flat out, but it doesn't seem to be the red circuits that things are short by. It's the greens still. And the greens are all going into making blues. So if we can fix the blue circuit problem by having workable blue circuit builds off-site, then that would be the solution. Okay, so I need being electric furnaces, and I need 4 of them. And I have 0. And all these green circuits are going into the blue circuit build. Alright, let's have a look at request sizes, because it might be a request size issue. Okay, yeah, I think the request sizes are too small. Okay, so let's double those and see how that helps. Okay, I've got a lot more green lights now. Good, that's really helping. We're still making one of these only every few seconds, right? It's not vastly quick, This would be making 11 per minute, so that's roughly one highest tier machine of one sort per minute. We've got 2 builds, so that's 2 of them. Is it worth doubling this build? I think we're pretty much in what's the worst that could happen territory here. That doesn't fit very nicely, does it? Where can I put it? Made a mess again. It would go in there if I got rid of a couple of extra row ports, wouldn't it? So let's get rid of those. There we go. And we'll see if we can double up our speed module builds. Good. What else is going on? Oh good, this is working. That's going to be a big attack. But it's certainly doing the job. Wow. We are going to get absolutely hammered. I actually want to see this. I'm glad that I still have all my defensive walls behind here. Ooh. It's not great, is it? It's lost power in the middle. A second wave right now would kill us. I've just got to hope that the bots come and fix things in time. But it certainly does the job. I can imagine pushing forward 2 or 3 fronts like this. Yeah, this gets fixed. And the very big swarms only come in once, right? Right, that's good, isn't it? So, have we doubled our speed module production? No, of course not. But we certainly haven't reduced it. So let's have a look. Right, let's look at the 10 minute. And it was here and it's now... Right, so for vastly more power, we've increased it by 20%. Maybe. Okay, let's only look at speed 3s. They've gone from 16 a minute to... Yeah. 16 and a half a minute to 20 a minute. 20% increase. Well, it doesn't suck, right? 20% increase for a vast increase in materials. Let's see what it's actually throttled on. Blue circuits. Okay. Right, and the blue circuits are just running as hard as they can. So this was producing 29.4 and this one 67. So in the short term, this is the way forward. Okay, so if I upgrade half the build to those, that's 4 times the output. Also 4 times the consumption. And we probably don't have the request sizes set large enough, but I'm not going to set them for now. Because I want to make sure some green circuits at least go into these builds. Alright, let's ask the question. So this speed module build would consume 562 blue circuits if it was running at full speed. Right. So let's have a look at these machines, 8 of them. 537. So this is, 8 of them is about right to power one of these builds. So that's interesting to know. Where we have... We'll do that. And that should be... Yeah, that's job done, I think. So we should have increased our prod mod production. Let's have a look again. Sorry, speed mods. Yeah, that has improved it, hasn't it? So it's just chasing these little bottlenecks, finding the thing. It may dip down again once buffers are used. Don't know. But we've gone from 16 to 30 and then crashed. Okay. So nothing is happening here now. Nothing at all. Because we've burnt through the red circuits that were being brought in. And these are dead. No, they're just running flat out. Alright. So I think we've really sort of pushed it to the limit of what we can achieve. Do I have my furnaces? No. What do I need to do to get them? Sacrifice the appropriate chickens to the appropriate gods. That has 9, but you know, we're just way off. So I'm not going to torture you by having you watch me chase these bottlenecks. You've seen what I'm doing with them. It is what it is. This whole contraption here can now be pushed up and out. And I think I may find a way to do this semi-AFK. At least see if I can do this by pushing construction. So this, for example, is a sort of blueprintable thing. Well, not a very sensible blueprintable thing, but you see what I mean. We can potentially push this up using radars to where we're at the edge of our bombardment range, put down a wall, bombard, and I think that might be the way forward. So I'm going to do that off camera, and in the meantime we will just wait for more furnaces to craft. It is kind of excruciating, but we're at that chicken and egg bootstrapping stage where we don't really have enough circuits to build the module machines to build the circuits to build the module machines. It will all come out in the wash, but that day is not today. So thanks for watching. I feel like we've got some stuff done today. Out of interest, just before I sign off, let's have a look at these red circuit builds. Okay, so this is up to 4.1k, this is at 4.2, and the red circuit trains are both empty, so yeah. I'm going to leave it there. Hope to see you again soon. Please stay safe. If you can stay home, do. Try not to get caught up in any revolutions while I'm waiting for the next episode. And bye-bye.